Hey there! If you've ever wanted to take a look inside someone else's budget, now is your chance. I'm Stephanie from SixFiguresUnder.com and I make our family's personal finances public. Today I'm going to show you what we do at the end of the month with our budget and then show you what we spent, and then at the end of the video I will show you how we budget for the next month. I'll leave a link in the description for the blog post where I outline all of this and go through all of our monthly expenses and our income and our savings every month. I've been sharing our budget updates for the last 4.5 years, so there's a whole archives of our past budgets if you want to see how far we've come. Okay, so let's dive in. Let me show you. So the budgeted amount for some of our monthly expenses, we know at the beginning of the month how much our car insurance and our mortgage and internet, we know how much those are going to be, so we budget exactly that amount and there's none left over. But in things like our everyday expenses, like groceries and gas for the car and clothing, household goods, those sort of things, we put an amount down at the beginning of the month, and then sometimes we don't spend all of that. So when we were paying off debt, we'd use this extra to go straight toward our debt at the end of the month. Now that we're not paying off debt anymore, we do sinking funds for some of our categories, like car repair, medical, dental, our car registration and smog, birthdays, Christmas, life insurance, projects around the house, all of those sorts of things. We have a sinking fund. So we put an amount in at the beginning of the month. Sometimes we spend from those categories, and then we have a balance left over at the end of the month, and that balance carries on month after month. So, for example, with Christmas, we put in $100. Well, right now it's $100. We put in that each month, and then by Christmas, we will have accumulated $1,200 over here, if we keep consistent with that every month. Other categories we're not sure when we're going to spend from, like car repairs. We both drive older cars, and a lot of months we have car repairs. And this month we didn't, but we did last month, so we were starting from zero and we've got only $300 in there. So these we carry a balance on. But our everyday expenses, I like to take these out at the end of the month and add those to our savings goals. So I want to show you how I do it so you can see. So this month we spent $372.69 in groceries, so I'm going to change this to $372.69 and then see how this balance is zero now, and then it sent that money back up to the top here, up to the available to budget. Fuel will change to $331.78. Clothing, $95.75. Household goods, $113.22. And change that to 46. So now we have this $160.56 extra, and I will take that down and add it to the emergency fund. So I do plus 160.56. Now we add $321 to the emergency fund, and that brings us up to this total. We actually already did that. I need to put in the transaction that says we did it, but I wanted to show you how I do this, how I zero out these categories. Now, if you don't use YNAB, you can totally still do it this way. In fact, if you do cash envelopes, it's really easy too. Instead of keeping the leftover cash at the end of the month, you can stick that all into your savings or your debt payoff or however you want to do it. Sometimes it's nice to have the money carry over, but sometimes if it carries over, it just kind of gets lost and you're not sure how much to budget for the next month. And this is the way we like to do it for these categories that we know we have expenses in every month, as opposed to these where the expenses come up here and there. We're not sure when they're going to come. So that's how we do things at the end of the month. Let me give you a brief overview of our spending this month. Our tithing is based on our income the month before. If you click here, this is where I keep track of that in this little note. Our other giving, this one we've promised to give this, but we haven't received our notice in the mail where we're actually will pay it. It's for Scouts. These are our regular expenses, car insurance, cell phones. We have cell phones with Republic Wireless, and we are on their Republic Refund program where it's $17 a month, and then you get refunded for the data that you don't use. So mine, depending on how much data I use that month, is anywhere from $13 to $15. My husband's cell phone is through his business. Republic Wireless doesn't have this program anymore, doesn't have this plan anymore, but they have other really great plans that are a great deal. No contracts or anything like that. And I'll leave a link in the description if you want to look into that. Yeah, you don't want to be overpaying on your cell phone. So our mortgage is just under $2,500 a month, but we usually pay $2,500 just because I like nice even numbers. This month we actually are refinancing our mortgage, and so we had a $500, we put $500 toward that. Now I'm not going to give you all the details of that. I'll save that for a future video where we'll talk all about what we're doing with our refinance and why we're doing it. So that will be an exciting one. I'm just going to leave you hanging on that one for now. $50 for internet, $260 for electricity, a little over $4 for our home phone, which is actually it's an internet phone, so it's not a standard landline. But my husband uses that when he works at home. We have trash pickup that is every other month we get billed for that, so we put half of it to it each month. Same with the water. It didn't come out this month, but that extra is sitting there until next month when we budgeted another $45. It usually is about $90. It was a little less last time, so that's why there's this extra $1.17 on there. For groceries in February, we spent $372 and some change. I have videos for both our main big first of the month grocery haul and then our mid-month smaller shopping trips. They all add up to this, but I have videos on each of those. I'll link in the description. Gas for the cars, we spent $331. Clothes, we went to, let's see, there was some great end of season clearance at Walmart, and we also went to a 50% off day at the thrift store and got some great things. We got some winter coats for the kids for next year and some shoes. Yeah, got some. That's more than we normally spend for clothes, but I'm pleased with everything that we got for that amount. Now our household goods, that includes normal toiletries. We also got a new kitchen thermometer, a new forehead thermometer, dish soap, dishwasher soap. We got replacement toothbrush heads for our electric toothbrushes. These expenses were also offset by a $25 rebate, mail-in rebate that we got from the computer that we bought at the end of last year. Fun. My son was in a wrestling tournament that had a $20 registration fee, and then we had to pay $10 for my husband and I to go watch that. The kids were free. We got some chicken feed. Let's see. Okay, now our periodic expenses, like I said, we put $300 toward car repair, $100 toward medical, but we spent $10 on, let's see, on a prescription for the baby. Put a little toward dental and car registration. We had to re-register or renew the registration on one of our cars last month, February. We put $100 toward birthday and gifts, which is more than normal, but we have my daughter has a birthday party coming up, and I thought I'd be spending that in February, but I'm running behind. We had to postpone it a little bit. And this is positive because we returned something that I'd gotten my husband for his birthday at the end of last year. Let's see, we set aside some money for Christmas, life insurance, home projects. We didn't put anything toward it. We didn't spend very much. We just got some dirt and peat moss for some berries that we planted. So we've got a big balance there. Still have some leftover furniture money and $300 toward some upcoming vacation, road trip / family reunion things. We started giving allowances to our kids this month. I'll put a link in the description to the book. It's called The Opposite of Spoiled, that gave us this idea. We had only ever given our kids money when they did chores. We were pretty set on that being the way to do it, but we got a new idea when we read this book and thought, wow, we're going to try that. So I'll have a future video all about how we do allowance. This was partway through the month, so that's only part of the month. So we ended up putting about $322 toward our emergency fund. We put $100 toward the kids' 529s every month. It's not very much, but we started it back when we were still paying off debt, so we'll ramp that up eventually. This retirement money, I just keep track of it here for my own record. This never actually hits our pocket. It goes straight into retirement from his check. So I add it in the income here. I add it into our budget every month and then spend it right here. I'm not spend it, but record it right here. But this comes out of his paycheck before he gets paid. And our goal was to fill my IRA for 2017. So this is how much we had to put to bring the total up to $5,500. So that this is all zeroed out, but we put some in past months. So we've filled that goal. Now, in the future, we're going to be putting $550 toward my IRA for each month so that by the end of the year, by the end of 2018, we will have filled it for 2018, so we won't have to be doing it in the next year like we are this year, if that makes sense. Self-employment taxes, this is from my business, from my blog. I take 25% out of what I earn, my net income. I put 25% here, and then 75% comes to me as income. I deposit in the family checking account. This is what we pay for our tax advice and preparation, and this is a supplemental property tax bill that I think comes in April, that we put this much aside each month, and then that we'll have all the money for that. That's in addition to the money that's escrowed for our property taxes. So that's what February looks like. Let me show you real quick how we budget for March. So right here, this number is how much we have available to budget. I've already put in our tithing according to what we earned in January. And first I like to go and do the things that are automatic. This $100 always comes out. This is automatic. And let me just put this in while I'm down there. We have the IRA contribution being automatic now too. This we'll save to see what we have left. So then we'll come back up here, and the car insurance will be the same. Mortgage we're going to leave at what it usually, whoops, wrong line. So cell phone I know is going to be a little bit more this month because I used more data. $2,500 for the mortgage, $49.99 for internet. Electricity, I can monitor my electricity online, so I know the bill's going to come in a couple, or the billing period is going to end in a couple of days, but I think it's going to be somewhere around here. This is the same every month. This is the same every month. Groceries, I set 400. Fuel, I usually set 400. Clothing, not planning on getting anything major. Household, I'll leave 150. Fun, we're going to be going on a road trip at the end of the month, so most of that will be covered in the road trip, but I'm just going to put 50 here for now. We usually put 70 for animals. Kids' activities, I know there are going to be some expenses here, so I'm going to put 100. Car repair, I'm going to do 300. So for most of these periodic expenses, I have in the name of the category, I put the amount that we usually spend just to help me do it quickly, but car repair, I need to change that one to 300. I think that's going to be our new normal. So 30, 40, 40. Home projects, I'm not going to put any more right now, or furniture. Let's see. Let's put 100 here. I know this is going to be 60 here. And then let's put what's left here, 789.08. So when my husband and I do this together, we both look over it. I usually fill it all in like this, and then we look over it, and I ask him if he can think of any other expenses that I didn't think of, that we have coming up. And anyway, I'll do a whole other video on how we do our budget meetings, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of how we do our monthly budget. Here, the goal is to get this down to 0, so we've spent all of our money. If we spend more than that, it goes in the red, lets us know. But we like to keep it at 0. And anyway, that's how March looks. It surely will change as the month plays out, but that's part of having a good, healthy, robust budget, is that you can change things. So if we happen to go over and spend $4.50 on groceries, well, we would maybe take this 50 away from clothing and be back up at 0. But for now, this is how we'll do it. And I've said this a million times probably, but what's great about this is all of this is real, actual money. This money is already in our account because we're a month ahead. This is all the money that we earned last month. So these aren't just figures that we hope we'll earn this month. This is already money that we have. If you're interested in learning how to get a month ahead, I have a guide to getting a month ahead financially that is free. I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm open to discussing this. Money's not taboo around here, so we can talk about whatever you want. And as usual, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.